I used to think success meant showing off cars and jewelry and trips and all this dumb stuff that really doesn't matter. And I know that sounds very hypocritical considering, I'm in my car, I'm wearing my jewelry right now, but I'm wearing this stuff because I want to reach a certain target audience. I want to speak to those who are maybe in the position that I was in at one point. And don't get me wrong, by all means, I'm all for, having nice things and having a better quality of life. I do believe that that's essential, but I also want to redirect y'all as I've grew more and more into business and entrepreneurship and really just life in general, and stop y'all from making the same mistakes that I made. I'm all for, getting nice things. I love nice things. I love designer clothes. I don't even like just designer clothes. I just like drip in general. I'm a dresser. I've been dressing my whole life. So, that's something I love, now that I didn't experience trips and going overseas, I love that. That's something that I really love to do. I love luxury cars, especially how I used to be in the car rental industry. I used to drive every single car. I done drove all the top class Benzes, I done drove Lambs, Urises, all of that type of stuff. So, realistically, I do like to live a better quality of life, and once you get to that point, I believe getting that bag on yourself eventually is essential. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like these other people on social media that has these things and give you all these false realities. I seen a podcast the other day of another creator, and they were basically talking about how you have to upgrade your chain every year and you have to upgrade your car every year, and this shit just stupid, bro. I understand, looking like money and how business works and networking works, but in reality, all you need is purpose. All you need is drive. People will mess with you for you. You don't need a piece of jewelry or a car or certain clothes or any type of social status material thing to get you into certain doors. Do they help? Sometimes, I guess, but then you got to also ask yourself, are those the type of rooms you want to be attracted in anyways? Because that's a shallow-minded individual. If all they're worried about is material, then that kind of shows you what they value in life. A lot of y'all might hear me speak on this, and I've touched on it in other videos and say, well, you hypocritical because you have X, Y, and Z. Y'all have to understand, a lot of these things I bought a long time ago. I no longer spend outrageous money on dumb stuff. I don't. I go on a date every once in a while with my shawty, and that's really it. The majority of the time, I am locked in. I'm reinvesting my money, and that's because there was a time in my life when I really first started touching money, and really in general, ever since I first started touching money, ever since I was young, I've been working jobs. Ever since I was in high school, I was probably making a couple $100s every single week, just from working and doing different hustles and flipping shoes and stuff like that. So it's just I've always been that type of person who buys nice things for myself, and clothes and jewelry and shoes. And so ever since I first started running up money, but when I really started touching money, I'm talking, decent money. I'm not finna even sit here and flex numbers, but when I first started touching crazy money, I started going out of control with it, and it's all because I never had it before. I talk about delayed gratification and people having instant gratification, and I speak on these things because that was once upon a time me. I don't get on these videos and try to motivate people and talk down on them and be like, yeah, you need to boss up. And I'm not one of them type of creators. I'm telling y'all, I used to be in whatever position you might be in right now. I'm telling you right now, I done came from nothing. I done ran it up and went back down to zero and ran it back up again. And I need y'all to understand that whatever stage you're in, whether you in the running it up stage and everything's good for you right now, take this advice as a grain of salt and apply it to your life to start making some smarter decisions, because you don't have to chase everything for validation. Ask yourself, does this really matter? Y'all, this chain, I've been wanting a pendant since I was a little kid. I've been wanting a pendant. It's just me being from Milwaukee and stuff like that. Everybody who really got paper got a pendant, so that's something I always wanted since I was young. And one of my homeboys told me he had a pendant for a while. When I was getting mine made and I was dropping a deposit for it to get made, he like, bro, you really want to spend that much money? He's like, I'm telling you, bro, you gonna get it, you gonna wear it for a couple months, and you ain't gonna care about it no more, and it's gonna be stupid, and diamonds don't even be holding value too much and stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, I'm like, he capping, bro. He just saying that because he got one or whatever. So, I was stupid and I bought it myself. And don't get me wrong, has it helped, I guess, for certain rooms. But if I'm being realistic, it was just a dumb spend, And luckily, all glory to God, I was in a position to even be able to do that. But it was a dumb spend right now. Y'all be spending 30, 40, 50, 100 plus on a kit. And yeah, it's cool. Like I said, when you're really up M's, do that. But don't run up your first, even M. Don't even run up your first 500,000. People run up 100,000, 200,000 and just go cash out and go crazy. And for some of y'all gonna be like, oh, okay, that's common sense. But It might not always be on some material shit though. Cashing out in general, understanding that sometimes that trip might have to wait. You might have to stay down. Sometimes that car might have to wait. You might have to stay down. It's not always about can you get it right now. It's should you get it right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what really happens. That's what really shifts, you know, material shit and shit that matters. When I first started touching bread for real, like, I didn't go I could have invested it into more real estate, or I could have got heavier into the stock market, or I could have went heavier into marketing and ad spend on my business, or, you know, just invested heavier into my business, invested into my systems and have my business running a lot more smooth so I don't have to do as much work, invest into better employees and better training. But, you know, I just first started touching the money and I didn't know what to do with it. When you come from nothing, especially even if you touch a little bit of money, but, you know, when your first time touching grown man money, like money, like when you first start touching that, it's like, it's an unexplainable feeling. Like, for somebody who's been around that and grew up around that, you know, that's fine. That's something that, you know, is normal to them. But when you come from nothing, it's like you don't know what to do, because now the stuff that has never been accessible to your whole life is accessible to you. Like, the shoes that you used to have on your screensaver when you was a youngin', like, you could go cash out on those right now. It's nothing. It's like pocket change, you know. Like, the house you used to drive past and be like, dang, I wish I had one of those. You're in that now. The cars you see on the road and point at and take pictures of, you're driving one of those now. So it's like, dang, you're in a position to where you can actually purchase these type of things, and now might not be your time. I made a video about that before. You got to stay down, but I really mean that. Like, I'm telling y'all this out of love. I'm not saying, oh yeah, stay down, you know, trying to send y'all off. I'm telling y'all for real, like, especially in this economy, y'all, like, if you don't look at what's going on right now, you got to understand we got to crash before we rise. Even if we shake back, it's going to be a major crash before we rise, and y'all can already see it. Everything is high right now. Groceries high, gas high, everything high right now. So why buy dumb stuff? You know, stop. Get it out your head that you need to spoil yourself. I'm telling you right now, like, it's a good thing to do when you're in that position, but you don't got to do it as soon as you get in the position. I'm telling you, like, I did it so many times, and that's what caused me to fall off before. And like I said, people say they never fell off. Okay, cool. Like, keep capping and saying that, but if you never fell off, you never grinded to get it. That's a fact, because you have to understand that everything comes with trials and tribulations. Nothing great is going to be perfect. There's nobody who just runs it up all the way and is green like that, and, you know, eventually something happens. So it's like, you got to understand that some of it is inevitable. You're not going to be able to stop it from happening, but you also have to understand some of it is in your control. You don't need that trip right now. You don't need them clothes right now. Like, any unhealthy habits you got, cut it. Anywhere you could cut the money, cut it. I don't care how much money you making. You could be making 50, 100 bands a month. Like, even if that's you and you like, oh, okay, I'm up, I'm good. See where you could better put your money to set up yourself and your family for life. And when you stop prioritizing these things, or when you stop getting these type of things, like, you start to realize how really unimportant they are. It gets to a point where you start to get unattracted to it. Like, to be honest, outside of my videos and a few times I pop out, I don't even wear this jewelry no more. You know what I'm saying? Because for what? To look like I'm better than somebody? You know, don't get me wrong, it's cool and it's stylish, it look cool, all that type of stuff. But, like, realistically, what's the point of wearing it? You know, like, half of the time you walk in the room, you the only one with a big ass chain on your neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm starting to realize, especially from a business perspective. So don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not cool and it don't serve its purpose when it's time to flick up and pop it, whatever, cool. But I'm letting you know right now, don't go waste your money on that. Like, if you got 100 bands, if you got 200 bands, 300 bands, and if you got anything less than that, jewelry shouldn't even be a priority, keeping it a buck. You got way more investing to do. But even if you got that much money, like, you got to understand that's not a lot of money. Like, a kit will cost you 50 to 100K easily, you know, if you getting the real deal and stuff like that. So it's like, you just got to understand, like, that is a bad investment. Like, stop letting people tell you, oh, well, you can always resell your jewelry. No, you can't. Like, y'all is scratching your watches up, you wearing them, y'all getting aftermarket diamonds, lab diamonds, not even full quality stuff. And like I said, whatever, cool, I'm not knocking it, but just understand that that is not worth your money. That 50, that 60, that 30, even that 10. A lot of people go rent up their first 10K and buy a Rolex. You know, I did it too. Like, And like I said, it's cool. It's nice to have a timepiece for networking and stuff. But just wait. Stay down till you really get in that position. Because I'm telling you right now, there's so many places your money could be better serving purpose. I used to always feel like in my life, I need this. I need this to do this. I need this to do that. I had that I need this mentality. And a lot of the things for me used to just be material. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was so focused on social media and stuff like that at that time. But I used to always feel like, oh, damn, if I got this piece of clothes or this type of jewelry or this type of car, I'm going to just feel fulfilled. And let me tell y'all, when I first got to the top of the top of the top, like I was making the most money, I bought my cars, I bought my crib, I bought my kid, all that. Like when I was, and everything was good and flowing well, I felt the most lonely at that time. Like I felt the most empty, and I just didn't understand. Like it got to a point where I just started spending and just buying stuff because I felt like it was gonna fulfill me. I was buying designer stuff because I felt like it was gonna fulfill me. And like I said, like everybody's thing that they like is different. Everyone's vices is different, but there's something you're spending money on. Even if it's that Starbucks you get every morning for $5 a day, do 5 times 365 and see how much money you giving them folks. Go invest into a Starbucks stock for real. You know, start making some coffee at home. Start making it cleaner with a little less sugar. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I'm telling y'all, like there was a point in time where I was giving myself everything that I thought that I needed. And you don't need everything right away. And for some people that's common sense, but I'm speaking to those who don't know that, because that was me at one point. And I understand we also live in a world where money is essential. You need money to live, you need money to grow. So I understand the impact that it has, and just understand that money is easy for God. You don't need to be worried about money, and you definitely don't need to be focused on material things. A lot of times material stuff is things that the enemy uses anyways to make it look flashy in our eyes and make us attracted to do things that draw us into sin. Really think about the things that you like, and really think about why you like them, who wears them, who possesses these things, and how they even make you more intrigued to get it. Think about it. All the rappers, how they push that they got luxury cars and you don't. How they push that they got jewelry and they jewelry this and yours ain't this. And you know, all of that type of stuff. How much money they spend. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the music and stuff too. It's cool to vibe too. But really listen at what you put in your ears and what you consuming. Look at what you're scrolling on social media, because a lot of y'all will say that, oh, I'm not materialistic, or oh, I don't care about these certain type of things. But subconsciously, the content you're engaging with daily, or the things that you're watching, or the people that you're looking up to, are just constantly popping these things. So like I said, I'm not saying it's necessarily a negative thing, but you have to understand that there's so much more to life. Just live your God-given purpose, fulfill your God-given purpose in life, and give back. And in return, things will come back to you. You will attract abundance one way or another. It might not be in a jewelry way, or a car way, or a house way, or a clothes way, or whatever it is that you think that you need. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to get some type of abundance in return, and you're going to be able to bless your family with it. That's the most important thing. What can you put up to make your life more financially free? It's not about the jewelry and cars and all that stuff, y'all. It's some of these people that y'all follow on social media that they got all this expensive stuff, and they can't even go take a trip when they want to. They can't even fix the expensive cars that they got and stuff like that. And people is not being realistic with y'all. Like, some people is really running up a bag, you know. I'm even a testimony of it. But there's some people who really are just using this to market themselves and their image. And you got to understand that's not the reality of life. It takes a lot more grit and a lot more grinding and a lot more not making dumb decisions like this, y'all. I'm telling you right now, like, all of this shit can wait. It doesn't matter. Yes, it's cool. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and say it's not cool and it doesn't feel good. And that would be a lie. That would completely be a lie. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't feel as good as you think that it does, and it's not going to fulfill you. Trust in God. Pray to God. Understand His voice. Give back to the world as much as you can, and make sure you're doing what you love to do while you're doing it. That's the hack to life. It doesn't matter. You can read as many success and finance and business books as you want. You can watch as many motivational speeches as you want. That is the recipe to becoming successful in life. Fulfill your God-given purpose. And I'm not even trying to push my religion on y'all. If y'all aren't Christian or y'all believe in something else, whatever it is that you believe in, but just understand that as soon as you give back to the environment and you make a positive impact, whether you believe, even if you believe in just the law of attraction, then you believe that when you put that positive energy out there, it's going to come back to you. You know, so just understand that there's so many different ways that you can start attracting the life that you would desire. And even when you start getting that life that you desire, what I'm telling you is the material stuff does not matter. It can wait. Millionaires used to say that you should live by the 10% rule, and a lot of them say that they do. In this economy, I feel like who's really living by the 10% rule when I'm looking at the reality of the most people in the world in their situation. Like, that's saying that if your bills is $2,000 a month, you should be making $20,000 a month. A lot of people's rent is over $2,000 a month, and they definitely ain't making $20,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? So it's very hard to build wealth in this environment, in this economy, and I'm just keeping it a buck. It don't matter how much money you can make. I didn't ran it up, and it's still been hard to build wealth because sometimes of the dumb financial decisions I made, I'm just now starting to get to a more mature mindset to where I started reinvesting my money, and I started shaking back from all the dumb decisions that I made. And I was lucky and fortunate to be able to make it through that path. Some people, they fall off and they just keep falling. That's how you see a lot of people get into these situations. And I'm telling y'all right now, anything that's unhealthy for you financially and isn't moving towards the goal that you want to have, let it go, y'all, because this material shit don't matter at the end of the day. You can't take it with you. It goes out of style, it's cool to have a car one year and the next year is old and everybody got it. It's cool to go bust down one year and next year everybody's going plain Jane. It's cool to wear this brand this year and next year they're canceled. So why even take your hard-earned money and waste it on that? I know I'm only talking to a certain group of people when I'm talking about this, but y'all gotta understand, like, even if you ain't have it before, I'm telling you, when you touch it, it's not gonna feel as good as you think it does. So stay down, go into good investments. Like, I'm not finna sit here and give y'all financial advice, so that's why people always ask me in my comments, oh, well, what should I do exactly? And I can't really tell you that. That's not the goal of my channel, but what I'm here to tell you is, and show you, I'm a walking testimony of, doing what you need to do, trusting in God, making some good decisions, and even when you make bad decisions, learning from them and shaking back from it. That's all I am. I'm never going to sit here and act like I'm perfect. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody has ups and downs, and, I'm here to share with y'all my downs, because some of y'all might be in that down space and just feel like you stuck, and I promise you, you're not. I'm a testimony that you can get out of that. Just lock in and do the things that you need to do the research that you need to do. Invest in assets, not impressions. A lot of y'all too worried about getting a new Amiri and this type of car and these type of glasses and this type of bracelet. Buy real estate, index funds, businesses. First, invest in the skills. Learn a new skill that can make you money, and stop worrying so much about your drip, what shoes you got, what clothes you got. The shit don't matter. And use your money as a tool, not as a trophy. A lot of us want to buy certain things to show that we have money for what, when you could be using it as a tool to make you more money. I see a lot of people argue, oh, you invest into your image, especially if you sell some type of personal brand stuff. Oh, if you invest into your image, you're going to make more money. I guess true in some instances, but just use your wealth as a resource to serve God. Invest into things that are going to make you money and also better other people in the kingdom's quality of life. And that is how you run a successful business. You have to run business at the end of the day. You got to keep your lights on. You got to keep your bills paid. But do right with your money. Don't buy dumb things. Invest. Give back. When you have a surplus of money, spend on your family and give back to charity, and tithe with your church if that's something that you do. Diversify the impact that you can have with your money, because you might not even know you got an idea in your head that you sleeping on because it's too much work or it's too expensive. Little do you know, if you put the money to get the work done for you, or you just bit the bullet and stop buying the dumb stuff, or stop prioritizing the dumb stuff and pay for the thing that's going to take you to the next level, you can invent something that people will pay you for that will change your life. You could change thousands and thousands of people's lives, y'all. I done touched thousands and thousands of people through my businesses. I done touched thousands and thousands of people through the services that I offer, and it just is amazing when you can do what you love to do, change people's lives, and then make money at the same time, and start to build that financial freedom for you and your family, and set your family up, and have a trust, and have stocks, and all these different types of things, investments that will set your family up for life, and not something that's not going to matter in 50 years. Is that watch going to matter in 50 years? Is that car that you got right now going to matter in 50 years? So really just refocus. And I'm not telling y'all can't have nice things. I believe in having a nice quality of life. But what I'm telling you to do is prioritize and have delayed gratification. Don't get it right away. Just stay down, wait, and really analyze. Do the math on the numbers. Make it make sense for you. Like, a lot of people is not finna sit here and tell y'all this, and this is the truth. This is the hard code truth. I don't care what nobody says. And 1 Timothy verses 6 through 10 states, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And that doesn't mean that money is the enemy. I don't like that a lot of people try to push that narrative, but money isn't the enemy, but loving it is. Worshiping it is. The only thing that you should love and worship is God. And unfortunately, I like the flashy things as well too, but you have to understand that what you're doing when you're buying this type of shit is you're just glorifying money on a bigger level. Some people will say, oh, well, you can have both. Yes, you can have both. I'm not saying that you can't, but you just have to understand that you're doing that, and when you do it too early, sometimes you're setting yourself up for failure. Sometimes you think you're getting opportunities to have certain things or grab certain things, and in reality, that's just the devil using that thing to leverage it and put you in a worse position, put you in a worse predicament, to where you now are sad and depressed and anxious and lonely, and you thought that all of these things were going to fulfill you. So like I said, I'm not telling y'all don't get nice things for yourself. I'm not telling you don't work hard to get nice things. I'm not telling you don't live your best quality of life. But what I'm telling you is stay down till you come up. Wait till y'all are in a position to do the things that you need to do, because if I would have did that, I would have touched the amounts of money that I needed to touch a long time ago. Like, I still have goals. Like, it doesn't matter what type of pinnacles I felt like I reached, I'm still not at the position. My goal, I want to be a multi-billionaire for real, like, and not just for greedy reasons, because I want to really change the world with my impact with that type of money, and I want to just change my family, the future of my family, the direction of my family. I want to be the black sheep to have everybody after me living right. I want my kids to inherit something, inherit something good, not something bad, so I'm trying to make that change. And I just wish that I would have known some of these things sooner. Some of y'all might think it's common sense or I'm yapping or whatever. Okay, cool. But it's some of y'all that are going to fall into that. I'm telling you, especially young men. And, just don't do it. I'm telling y'all. So if you're tired of chasing fake validation and tired of living life with no fulfillment, start today. Shift your mindset, shift your focus, put God first, invest into your purpose, and forget about the material stuff. It don't matter. Forget the likes and the social media stuff. Let's start building wealth and building a legacy for our family. Y'all stay blessed.